An eye-opening incident occurred. An American man appeared at a Japanese funeral ceremony. While everyone else wore expressions of grief or sorrow, he looked as if he didn't understand the situation at all. Suddenly, when the dead body stirred, the American man stared with wide eyes, but the others pretended not to see anything and continued with the funeral rites. Even the guests went up to the corpse to bid farewell. After this phase of the funeral ended, the deceased person himself stood at the door bidding the guests goodbye. Actually, this was not a real funeral. To get the feeling of still being alive or worthy, the deceased man had spent money to hire a rental family company. The company had found various temporary actors to pretend to be his lover, family, and friends to complete this special event. The American man's name is Philip. He is one of the temporary actors. When he saw the deceased man filled with satisfaction, as if he had found the true meaning of life, out of curiosity, he went back to the funeral spot and climbed into the narrow coffin himself to see how it felt. But the result was that he felt nothing. The man he spoke to was the owner of the rental family company, Todda. While leaving the funeral home, seeing Philip as an actor, Todda gave him a visiting card and said that if he ever thought about doing this work long-term, he should make time to visit the office one day. Philip took the card but fell into a dilemma because his main dream was to become a big actor. Philip has been in Japan for 7 years, wandering with the dream of acting in his heart, but he never got a permanent acting opportunity. He has to make a living by playing the tambourine and working in minor extra roles, so his days pass in great hardship. Due to lack of money, he lives alone in a narrow, small rented apartment. Sometimes Philip observes others' daily lives through the window. In those illuminated windows, someone is eating, someone is having fun, or someone is chatting. It seems as if only Philip is alone. Just when Philip's life had almost come to a standstill, Todda extended a helping hand to him. Although this profession is quite different from the work of a real actor, the next day, following the address on the card, Philip appeared at that rental family company. Todda asked Philip what he thought the family rental company did. When Philip couldn't answer correctly, Todda smilingly explained that the company doesn't just provide acting, but also provides emotion. They play specific characters in the clients' lives. This doesn't mean truly becoming that person, but rather helping the client find what they have lost. That could be anyone in the client's life, such as parents, siblings, lovers, etc. It could even be a feeling the client felt in the past. Hearing this far, Philip was compelled to ask, why don't people go to a psychologist to solve their problems? Todda disappointedly informed him that in Japan, mental health issues are seen as a social stigma, so people look for other ways. Todda is hiring Philip because the company needs a white man symbolically to fill a small market gap. But after hearing this, Philip became a bit hesitant. He is just an average actor. How would he know how to help others? But just as Philip was about to leave, Todda suddenly mentioned that he had seen that toothpaste commercial of Philip's, which had once made him known. Philip stopped immediately. 7 years ago, Philip had gained some popularity in Japan due to a toothpaste advertisement, and that was the reason he came to Japan to pursue his dream. Finally, agreeing with Todda's words, he decided to stay and give it a try. Soon after, Philip got his first job at the family rental company. A girl named Jenyu wants to hire a foreign man to marry. The company's female employee, IJ, took Philip to meet the girl. The company would supply all the guests on the groom's side. After the wedding ceremony, Jenyu would become completely independent under the pretext of settling abroad with her husband, Philip. Philip wanted to confirm with Jenyu again and again if the age gap would seem too much. Jenyu shook her head and said older men seem more responsible. Actually, there was another reason behind this action of Jenyu's. She has a lesbian lover whom she loves very much. To avoid hurting her family and lover, she wants to hide the truth this way. IJ told Philip very seriously, to Jenyu's parents, you are her husband. After the work, IJ reminded Philip again to memorize all the information in the file exactly. The next day, the wedding ceremony started on time, but soon IJ learned from the staff that the groom, Philip, could not be found anywhere. With only 10 minutes left, 3 people went out to search in 3 directions. Finally, IJ found a terrified Philip in a cubicle of the men's toilet. Philip said, "This is just a lie. I am playing with someone else's life." Standing outside, IJ was on the verge of exploding with anger hearing this. She climbed the ladder, peeked over the toilet door, and corrected Philip, saying, This is not a lie, this is an opportunity. Through this, the parents will get their desired memories and Jenny will get freedom. Philip, this last-minute escapist tendency of yours is destroying your life. The conversation reached such a stage that Philip couldn't run away anymore. He sighed and came out of the bathroom. Then Philip and Jenny completed the wedding smoothly. Jenny's parents were very happy to get this foreign son-in-law. At night, Philip and Jenny were staying in the hotel room. A while later, Jenny's lover came and embraced her emotionally. They thanked Philip too. That night, Philip told the whole incident to his girlfriend. He knew this marriage was fake, but the feelings of some moments were very real. The next day, upon arriving at the company, Philip first apologized to the boss and colleagues for yesterday's mistake. However, since the client was satisfied, Todd didn't find fault, only reminding him that if he wanted to keep the job, he would have to be more serious from now on. As Philip nodded, Todd gave him a new assignment. This time, Philip has to play the role of the father of a mixed-race girl, Mia. The girl's mother, Renmai, wants to admit her daughter to a private school using Philip's identity. But this job is not as easy as acting on TV. Renmai wants Philip to make Mia believe that he is her biological father, so that Mia's recent bad behavior goes away. The duration is about 3 weeks, but since Philip also lacked a father's affection while growing up, this is a challenge for him. On the way home after work at night, Philip suddenly saw IJ. He quickly went forward to talk, but IJ was still angry with him. He said, "If I hadn't been there that day, Jenny's life would have been ruined. Japan is my home now. I am trying to understand it." After hearing this, IJ's anger subsided a bit. Philip asked her why she continues this work. IJ said slowly, "Because these people look at you in such a way, as if they have been waiting for you all their lives. Sometimes we just need someone to look into our eyes. It reminds us that our existence has a meaning." Returning home at night, Philip immediately started rehearsing. He tried to find a suitable voice tone and way of speaking like a father, which would be neither too formal nor too casual. Philip practiced alone for a long time. The next morning, Philip arrived at the designated place with a heart full of apprehension. Renmai was already waiting there. She handed a gift to Philip. It was a school bag that Mia had liked for a long time. Philip has to say he bought it for Mia himself. But actually, Mia doesn't know that she is going to meet her father, because if told the truth, she wouldn't come. Then Philip followed Renmai to stand in front of Mia. As expected, when Mia learned the man in front was her father, she immediately threw the school bag on the ground and shouted, "Don't try to buy me with gifts." Seeing Mia run away, Philip chased after her to explain. Philip quickly expressed his feelings, saying he hadn't forgotten Mia for a moment, and he knows Mia is very angry, but he has returned now. Just then Renmai found them. After confirming with her mother that Philip was needed for the school change, Mia agreed to associate with Philip, albeit unwillingly. However, Mia made Philip promise with his finger. Philip had to promise that he would never leave them, mother and daughter, again. Philip promised by linking fingers with Mia without hesitation. Meanwhile, Todd got another job. A man stole money from the employee fund and is rehearsing what will happen if he gets caught. Todd is beating and abusing him, but the client isn't getting angry at all. Then Todd received Philip's phone call. Philip informed him, Mia, hates me. Todd said, "That is the parent-child relationship." Todd told Philip to keep trying. Then Philip was given another new job. Retired actor Hasegawa Kikyu has recently been affected by dementia. He thinks the world is forgetting him. His daughter has hired a person with money to make her father feel necessary again, who will pose as a journalist and interview her father. Then Philip quickly went to Hasegawa's house. By then, he had made initial preparations regarding the movies Hasegawa acted in. With the nurse's help, Philip met the old man. Hasegawa initially showed great indifference toward Philip. Not getting discouraged, Philip immediately started talking about the collection on the old man's bookshelf. When he brought up jazz music, the old man agreed to talk to Philip. However, after speaking a few words, the old man dragged Philip into the garden. Seeing her father barefoot, his daughter quickly brought slippers, but the old man wouldn't wear them at all. The daughter admitted defeat to her father's stubbornness and left with the slippers. Then Philip took out a recorder as a journalist and started chatting with the old man with great affectation. Finishing all this, Philip returned to his real identity and sighed while boarding the train. The next day, Philip came to join the handicraft class with Mia. Although Mia was still outwardly showing that she didn't care about Philip, actually she wanted her father to come into her life. After the class started, Philip sat beside Mia with a small stool. Halfway through, Mia dragged another child who had come without a guardian to Philip and asked if he would agree to be his father too. As soon as Philip nodded in agreement, Mia's handicraft class ended. After class, Mia solemnly gave the item she made to Philip as a gift. Clearly, Mia has started to accept him slowly. Returning home, Philip immediately hung that handicraft on the window. Its bright colors not only decorated his dull room but also filled the emptiness in Philip's mind. Then Philip's busy time began. On one hand, he has to pretend to be Mia's father. On the other hand, interview old Hasegawa. In between, he has to do other company jobs, like being a cheerleader or playing video games with a recluse boy. As days went by, Philip became more skilled at handling the jobs. A huge change came over his entire personality. He became much more lively and energetic. Philip even cleaned his small room completely, and a touch of newness came to his personal life too. One day Philip took Mia to a unique aquarium. The sea creatures there were actually drawings by children, which came alive and swam through light and shadow technology. Mia said immediately, "These are fake." Then Philip said, "Sometimes it is okay to fake it." No sooner had he finished speaking than a call came on Philip's phone. It was the news of passing his audition. The casting director of a movie named Change asked Philip to come to Korea quickly for shooting. In a previous situation, Philip would have agreed, jumping with joy. But now he fell into a dilemma and said he would contact them later. Putting down the phone, Philip returned to Mia. Seeing the girl's hesitation slowly fading, Philip fell into an internal conflict. Should he continue this game of acting? Bidding goodbye to Mia, Philip quickly went to Hasegawa, but taking advantage of his daughter's absence, the old man ran away straight from the house with Philip. The two went to a small shop to eat Japanese okonomiyaki. While making the food, the old man taught Philip how to make okonomiyaki. Then he asked Philip if he wanted to know anything. Philip hesitated and asked, "Is your daughter well?" The old man's hand stopped working for a bit. Then he said his daughter used to call him the man of the curtain in childhood. Because the father would be away all year for shooting, the daughter only saw him on TV. The old man advised Philip, "Give the child more time while they are young." Clearly, Philip had started to think of Mia as his own daughter with real emotion. While Philip was suffering from mental complexity, the old man went to the bathroom, but upon exiting, he got confused and ran straight onto the road. Luckily, Philip had seen him and caught him in time, so no major accident occurred. After returning to Hasegawa's house, although the old man's daughter thanked Philip for his timely help, she clearly stated that such risky work should not be done again. Philip nodded silently, but on the way back, his mind remained very heavy. The next morning, Philip came to participate in the Ghost Cat Festival with Mia. Of course, he wore special makeup so that he looked like the real participants. In the midst of this, Philip informed Mia that none of her grandparents were alive. The very next moment, Mia handed her small mobile phone to Philip and told him to save her number. Mia said in her tender voice, "Now I can send you messages, then you won't feel lonely anymore." Hearing this, Philip's chest filled with warmth. Then while wandering, the two mistakenly arrived in front of Philip's girlfriend's fortune-telling stall. Seeing the lines on Mia's hand, the girlfriend said something is holding Mia back, but there is nothing to fear. She should do what her heart says. Then Philip spent the whole day in joy with Mia. Returning home at Mia's request, Philip opened the envelope she gave. Inside was a picture drawn by Mia's own hand. Seeing this, all of Philip's hesitation cleared. He called the casting director directly and gave up the movie role he had obtained with so much difficulty. After this, Mia became even more dependent on Philip, often calling him to ask various questions. But this scene did not escape Mia's mother Renmei's watchful eyes. She knew this hired actor would eventually leave. He could never be Mia's real father. So the deeper the relationship becomes now, the more Mia will suffer when they separate. The next day, Renmei wanted to meet Philip on her own accord. Renmei first spoke about the private school interview. She instructed that while speaking, he should look into the eyes but not for more than 5 seconds. Answers must be concise and summarized. A little emotion can be shown, but one cannot get too excited. When Renmei said Mia would study in this school until high school, Philip could not control his emotions and asked, "Is it normal to decide a child's future so early?" Renmai cruelly answered, "I didn't hire you to teach me how to raise my child." Then Renmai asked Philip why he secretly calls and sends messages to her daughter. At this, Philip remained silent for a long time. Afterwards, Philip went to the temple to pray with old Hasegawa. Philip curiously wanted to know what was inside. The old man didn't answer directly but smiled and said, "Why don't you go see for yourself?" Then the old man made a request to Philip. He wanted Philip to take him to his village home Tenso. Some of the old man's things are left there, which he wants to bring back before completely losing his memory. And this matter cannot be told to his daughter. This time the old man's logic was, sometimes a person's only possession is their secret matters. That night, IJ, having taken a job to apologize, went to a wife posing as the mistress or lover to apologize, and naturally received a slap. However, IJ asked for an extra 3,000 yen from the client for the mark on her face. Tired and depressed, IJ was returning home by metro. The next day after arriving at the office, Boss Toda informed Philip that Mia's mother had called him. Renmai wants their next meeting to be the last one, so Philip has to tell Mia that he is going away to America soon. Toda also said that if he keeps working, new clients will come. Working for a long time, Philip will get used to everything. Philip understood the boss's words. The next day, he went to Hasegawa's house. The old man was then very enthusiastically planning to escape from the house. But Philip informed him that he could not take him to the village home, because if something happened on the road, Philip couldn't take that responsibility. Hearing this, the smile on the old man's face faded. His daughter then strictly announced that their relationship ended here. Philip should not come anymore. Being driven out of the house, Philip felt very bad. The next day, Philip went to give the interview with Renmai. During the interview, Philip did not follow all of Renmai's instructions. He not only took out his phone and showed Mia's drawing on his own, but also praised Mia in front of the interview board, saying she is a very empathetic and understanding girl. At the end of the interview, Philip was forced to tell Mia that for work needs, he has to return to America. Maybe they won't meet for the next year. Although Mia wasn't very willing, she reluctantly bid him farewell. While hugging Mia and leaving, Philip had to suppress the nasal cry and chest pain with great difficulty. At night, Philip and IJ went out for a drink. When Philip asked about the injury on IJ's face, he learned that the company's most popular job is apologizing. Seeing IJ upset, Philip said she could talk to him anytime. Returning home, Philip took down the handicraft and picture given by Mia. Then he again started watching others' lives through the window. When he saw a lonely old man in a house, an idea came to Philip's head. Before dawn, Philip went straight into old Hasegawa's house and said he had come to take him. Hearing this, the old man became terribly happy and hurriedly packed his things and set out with Philip. Meanwhile, Mia was playing hide-and-seek with her friend when suddenly she saw a character played by Philip on TV. In an instant, Mia understood everything. She tried to call Philip but didn't get a connection. A while later, her mother received the admission call from the school and almost jumped with joy. She poked Mia and showed a video, and the mother's silence answered all questions. But in the end, although Mia understood her mother's wrongdoings, she decided to forgive her. On the other hand, crossing a long path, Philip and Hasegawa finally reached the old man's desired village home. Although the road was very difficult, the old man was very happy. Seeing a roadside shrine on the way, the old man told Philip, "Sun, soil, forest, ocean, everything is God. It can be said that God is within everything, even inside our own bodies." Finishing the explanation, the old man took Philip to the abandoned old house. Being nostalgic, he told Philip that previously he used to act in front of his family after watching the comedy of traveling theater groups here. Perhaps this was his first stage. So the old man is very happy that Philip brought him here. But the next day, Philip woke up and saw the old man was not by his side. He quickly went outside to search and saw the old man digging the soil. Philip went forward to help him. Finally, they found an old clay pot or jar. Inside it were many old pictures, the top picture being of the old man's mother. At one time, the old man had relocated his home to Tokyo. One day, he suddenly got news that his mother was sick. But before the old man could reach his village home, his mother died. Although his mother died many years ago, the old man suffering from dementia still remembers her. Seeing the old photos in his hand, The old man started crying. Philip sat quietly beside him, giving him company. When the emotion calmed down a bit, they took the path back. Just then Philip received Boss Todder's phone call. Todder angrily asked why he took the old man without permission. Doing such a thing without informing the old man's relatives amounts to kidnapping. If this news spreads, Todder's business will be finished. Citing the example of the injury on IJ's face, Philip said this is Boss Todder's responsibility. Before Philip could say anything else, the old man fainted on the ground. Philip quickly took him to the hospital. Luckily, there was no major damage, but the police arrested Philip because the old man's daughter had complained that Philip had kidnapped the old man. The news quickly reached Todder. To save the company from trouble, Todder decided he would wash his hands of it, meaning he wouldn't help. IJ could not accept this matter at all. At night, IJ again went to that adulterous client's house to apologize. But suddenly IJ had a realization. She revealed her identity in front of that woman, that she is an actress, and exposed the man's real face. This vile man doesn't even have the courage to bring his mistress in front of his own wife. Saying these words, IJ turned around and came out. Then she called Todder and directly told him that she is quitting the job. Hearing this, Todder felt empty inside. Todder returned home after work. His beautiful wife and obedient child were waiting for him. But in reality, this scene was fake. The wife and child were both actors hired by Todder. Today, everything seemed out of place to Todder, so he told the two actors to leave early. The next morning, IJ came to meet the old man's daughter with her colleague disguised as law firm employees. But entering inside, they saw a police detective was also there. The colleague boy got scared. Would they get caught? IJ told him to stay calm. She would handle the situation herself. Since they are not from the same company, finding a way to solve it is also a path. Finally, through the efforts of the three, and due to the old man's statement, Philip was proven innocent and released. A few days later, Philip received news that after his heart's desire was fulfilled, old Hasegawa had died. Philip immediately came to attend the old man's funeral. While bidding the old man farewell, he placed those old pictures on the old man's chest and watched with his own eyes as the old man's coffin went away. A few days later, with Runmei's permission, Philip came to apologize to Mia. This time Mia accepted the apology with a smile, and they got to know each other anew. They became very good friends. Afterward, Philip continued working in the company. One day he made time to come to that temple to pray. After a gust of wind like an earthquake tremor, Philip looked to see what was inside. It was a mirror. Philip immediately burst out laughing. The movie's story ends here. Hope you liked the movie. To see more such movies next, like, comment on the video and subscribe. See you again in the next video.